Hi, my YouTube friends. I'm back again to give you some additional information. I just found out some information just recently, and quite by accident. I was on the net, and I was looking up stuff about your ear because I told you in other videos that I believe they injected something into my ear in order to run pulses or whatever, and to be able to do this V2K. Even though they say it comes through your skull, it may come through your skull, but what they have in my ear, then they can talk into my ear. I can hear them talking into my ear, and then just by accident, and I think it's by the work in the hand of God, that I ran into something while I was looking up information about the ear, because I just wanted to see, you know, the diagram of the ear, and to see if I could figure out exactly where it's at, you know, because I can feel it when I push my finger into my ear. I can feel it into my ear. But anyway, today is February the 8th, and it's 2014. And I said I'm not going to make this video too long, just to give you some additional information that I came across. Okay, when I was looking up, and I got my info here, when I was looking up the information about the ear, because I said, okay, every time when I complain and I go to the doctor and I tell them like my ears hurt, they hurt a whole lot, and you know, pain in the ear, inside of the ear, the whole ear, around my whole ear, everything feels awful, and I have earaches and itching, like a lot of itching inside of my ear, something that I never really had like that, you know, just normal itching, or you know, normal, you know, ear problems or whatever I've had in the past, but never to you know, to like in the way that it is now, you know. But anyway, I'm going to tell you about something that my hand just went on, and it was purely by mistake, because I'm looking for one thing, and you know, with the internet, usually you're looking for one thing. Sometimes other things are on the page that relates to that thing that you're reading. So this nerve is called the vagus nerve. V is spelled V-A-G-U-S, nerve. And this vagus nerve, it controls like so many things in your body, from your brain, your head, your skull, all the way down to your entire body. This nerve controls a lot of things, and it's has to do with the autonomic function of your body, which is like breathing and, you know, your heartbeat, because you don't really control, you know, how your heart beats and stuff like that. So all of that is controlled by this vagus nerve. So when I did some additional research on the internet, I seen where they had like scientists with all of these different programs, and they were trying to see if by stimulating this vagus nerve, if they could stop different things like depression, epilepsy, and you know, like a whole host of things. But let me just see if it says so, because I'm going to probably have to do a second part to this video and then just run the whole thing together. But I was just like so excited. I just wanted to get on here and let anybody who watched this know any information that I come across, as I would hope if you come across the watching audience, if you come across anything that you would think could possibly help a TI, then I would appreciate it if you would either put a video response or just, you know, inbox me and give me the information. But anyway, this vagus nerve, and I have my my info here on my phone. I'm going to just tell you briefly what it says. It says the vagus nerve, also called the pneumogastric nerve, is known as the 10th cranial nerve. And you know, cranial has to do, it means your skull. Okay, or simply capital C, capital N, capital X. They say C and X. The cranial nerves exist as pairs, and there are 13 such pairs. However, these are normally referred to in the singular. Okay, so I guess it starts at, they say, upon leaving the medulla between the pyramid and, I mean, it's like a whole bunch of big words and stuff. I don't know what all this stuff is. Inferior cerebellar, peduncle. It extends through the jugular foramen, which, you know, your jugular is on either side of your neck, like here and here. And then it passes into the carotid sheath, and your carotid artery is also in your neck. That's all in your neck, because that's the artery in your neck where they say if you cut that, you know, you can bleed to death. And then it says it goes down to the neck, the chest, the abdomen, where it contributes to the innervation of the viscera. I don't know what that means. Maybe somebody can look that up. Innervation of the viscera. These are like big words and stuff, but I guess it let's see, vagus. Okay, the vagus nerve comprises between 80 to 90% of afferent nerves, and I don't know what that afferent nerve is. AFFERENT nerves, mostly conveying sensory information about the state of the body's organs to the central nervous system. Okay, so after I saw that, and I continued to read about that, and then, you know, it all made sense why I was having this feeling in the side of my neck. You know, feeling in both sides of my neck. This horrible feeling. First, it would start up in my ear, where I could, like, you know, feel the pulses in my ear. Sometime if I was laying, if I had my head turned a certain way, I could actually hear the pulses, you know, that they were sending to whatever it is that they put into my ear, what they broadcast in my house, a device. Okay, it would send the pulses in there. I could feel it coming into my ear, and sometimes my whole entire ear, the whole ear itself, the inside, I mean, the outside of my ear would feel like it was moving, you know, like it was pulsating so bad. And I didn't know what the hell that was, because I'm like, okay, well, whatever it is that they're doing, they're sending some sort of electrical pulse into my ear, and then it would go into my neck, and then it would start to go and reverberate all through my whole body. It would go down my back, and I guess according to how they send the electrical impulse, then I guess they can send a pulse to a certain part of your body, because sometimes I would feel it in my back, next time I would feel it in my side, next time I would feel it in my stomach, sometimes I would feel it in my legs, in my feet, the soles of my feet. So I was like, well, what kind of thing could they possibly put into my body? Or at first I was thinking, well, maybe they were hitting me with some sort of beams. They still could be doing that. They still could be, still sending whatever beams and still using, the WEPs, what they call them, WEPs or whatever. They still could be using those things to send pulses, like, you know, they could maybe be in an apartment above you, below you, or whatever, and they could still send those pulses to you and stuff. No, it would be DEW, directed energy weapons. Okay, because I'm like so excited about finding out about this, I can't even talk. But anyway, they still could be doing that, okay, in addition to this. But this thing, that if you have it in your ear, like they have injected something into my ear, and they're using that to pulse and to go through this vagus, VAGUS nerve, and to do all sorts of things to my body, like to speed up my heart and do all kinds of things. Because when I read some additional information, according to the information, scientists are using these things to help people. They're using this for people with Alzheimer's, people that have depression, where nothing they have tried have helped the depression, no medication and, therapy or whatever. And so this is supposedly supposed to be something to be used for the good of man. But these devilish, evil, wicked people have taken this and probably gotten their own scientists together and figured out a way to reverse it. Because you figure in your body, anything that can help you can also hurt you. Just like if you're taking medicine to do something into your body, it can have the opposite effect of what it is that you're taking the medicine for. Like if you're taking the medicine for a heart problem, it could, do whatever the opposite of what you're taking it for if you don't take the right dosage. Okay, well, I think this is what these people have done. These wicked, evil people have gotten their own scientists or whoever and paid them and gotten them to figure out how to manipulate and to send electrical pulses through this vagus nerve in this thing that they have in my ear, because it goes to your brain and it also goes to your whole entire body. And they have taken a good and turned a good into something evil. So that just goes to show you just the kind of people they are. Okay, but you can look this up on the internet yourself. It's VAGV as in Victor, AGUS, vagus nerve. That's what it's called. And it's pronounced like, like you'd say Vegas, Las Vegas or whatever, but it's vagus nerve. And what it says is, I'm going to read a little bit of what it says, that this nerve, how it affects, wait a minute, where is it? Okay, I went down too far. Okay, the vagus, okay, this is what it says. Let's colon. Okay, all right, here it goes. I'm just going to read it to you because you can look it up yourself, and I'm looking on Wikipedia, and you can look on anything because it's on Wikipedia, and it's also on different a few different medical sites, and then they even have like the government site that have information on this also, so you can choose to read all of them, one of them, or whichever ones. But it says muscles of the larynx, which is for your speech. This means that the vagus nerve is responsible for such varied tasks as heart rate, gastrointestinal, peristalsis, I think that's how you pronounce it, peristalsis, sweating, and a few muscle movements in the mouth, including speech, via the recurrent laryngeal nerve, and keeping the larynx open for breathing, via action of the posterior crioarytenoid muscle. That's big words. The only abductor of the vocal folds. It also has some afferent fibers that innervate the inner portion of the outer ear, via the auricular branch, also known as Alderman's nerve, and it's spelled ALDERMAN for Alderman. So if you want to look that up too, and part of the meninges, and your meninges are in your it's in your skull. Like when people get meningitis, it's through the meninges in your brain. This explains why a person may cough when tickled on the ear, such as when trying to remove earwax with a cotton swab. So basically, I'm going to do another video where I'm going to pull together some things off of the internet, like some some visual things that I can show you, like the inside of the skull and the brain, and where this nerve, how this nerve affects your entire body. It does all sorts of things, and it was supposedly meant to do good. This was research that they were doing to, like if a person has a fast heartbeat, then you could like press on an area or whatever. A doctor would have to do that. So don't try this at home. Don't try to figure out where it is and figure, okay, well, I'm going to press on it and whatever. Even though they may say that on the internet, I would advise you not to do that, because only a physician basically is experienced and has the knowledge to be able to do that. But you should be able to by a nerve impulse of some sort, because they even have things that you can buy on Amazon where you can get them to stimulate this nerve, and it's supposed to be for something good. But these people are so wicked and so evil that they have probably figured out a way to reverse it, because according to what I read and the research I looked up, one side is to slow down, and I guess the other side can speed things up. So one side may slow your heart while the other side may speed it up, or maybe a combination of firing electronic, or not electronic, but pulses, like electrical pulses, which could basically speed up your heart or slow it down, because they're always in here all the time. They're always mouthing off and broadcasting, oh, we're gonna make your heart beat out of your chest, and like just saying all of these things, like they're God or something like that. And they just don't realize that anything they can do to me as a TI or any other TI, someone else can do that same thing to them. And this is what they don't realize. But I was just so overjoyed when I found this information, because I'm like, you wonder about these things, like how do they do this, and they will put the information on there, but unless you look it up or whatever. And with me, I had been looking up things for like over a year with my ears and stuff, because I knew they had injected something into my ear, and I never saw that. And it's by the good power of God that my hand accidentally just touched it, and this thing just came up on my screen, and I'm like, what is this? And then I started reading it, and I was like, oh God, I have to make a video and tell my YouTube friends and my subscribers and anyone who watches this video who is interested and want to know information on being a targeted individual and the things that they do to you, how they affect your life. They physically affect you, and they try to mentally affect you, because it's like both things. They do both things to me. I don't know about other TIs, like what is their extent of what is being done to them, but they've rolled out the red carpet. They have just pulled out every stop. They are doing everything possible to get to me. They are doing everything psychologically, physically, everything, from sending people out to walk behind me, to watch me, moving people into the neighborhood where I live, talking to people in the neighborhoods where I will live in, and the people acting funny and different things like that. And all those things don't bother me, because I don't have any interest in the people that I live around, because I figure if they could come and coerce them and tell them, and they would just go along with it. But like I said before in another video, you don't know what they tell these people, and you don't know what lies they tell them in order to get them to comply with them and to go along with this nonsense that they're doing, because they try to affect every single person that I come in contact with. Doctors, anywhere I go, it's the same thing. You tell them something and they're trying to tell you another thing, and whatever. So I know that they have contacted these people and have lied to them and have perpetuated this lie, because they want to be God. That's what they want. They feel as though they are God, and they feel as though that they have the right to torture any human being that they feel the right to do that to, for whatever reasons that are best known to them and God. And there is no reason that any human being should be tortured, no matter what it is you can do, because you even see it on TV. When they're questioning, they had this man, one of the men that was like the head one of the CIA, and he was on a guy on 60 Minutes, was asking him if they approve of torture, and the man his eyes was all big, and he was, no, we don't do that. We don't torture people. So okay, that torture is something that should not be done to any human being for any reason. Okay, and he was asking him about the people that they catch that are terrorists, and if they catch them doing stuff, and if they know that they're the ones, then those are the people. So he was the man on 60 Minutes was asking him about that. So torture is something that should not be done to any human being, and that is what these people are doing to me. They are torturing me night and day, because they're so filled with so much hatred and so much rage, and they want to get to me so bad because they have something to prove to me, because they have looked at a lot of things, and I will probably get into that into another video. There are a lot of things that God has put into my life, that he has put around me and on me, like birth dates and stuff, and things. When you add them up, they come up to these numbers that are very biblical in nature, And for some people it wouldn't be a big deal, and maybe for some people they would look and say, okay, well, that looked like something to me. But it's a lot of stuff that has to do with that is biblical in nature, that has to do with my name, my first name, middle name, last name, my initials, and all kind of stuff. And it all points to things that are in the Bible. So that could be a part of it also. These people, they're total atheists. They hate God, and they want to be God, and they want to be better than God, and they want to prove to me now, okay, well, you talk about this God, and this God that you talk about, well, why won't this God that you talk about, why won't he help you? We are God. Because this is what they broadcast in my house all the time, that they are God. They're the new God. And the God that I talk about, that God doesn't exist, and they're the new God, and so on and so forth. And then they're always trying to make deals with me, and oh yeah, well, we can make a deal with you and anything you need. And I've been authorized, and we have been authorized to give you anything that you want and anything you need and anything you ask for, we will give it to you, and so on and so forth, and whatever. I'm like, you know what? I don't make pacts with the devil, okay? Anybody who wants to make a pact with the devil and get themselves a brand new car and a brand new house, I say, you go right ahead. But I don't do that, okay? I'd rather be on the street begging than to make a pact with the devil and take anything that has to do with Satan, because these people are Satanists, and they believe in the devil, and they switch stuff around. They believe in the devil as being God, and then they believe in God as being the devil. This is how ignorant they are, so I mean, I don't know what their childhood was like, and what their youth was like, and what their upbringing was like, and what their parents did, and how their parents brought them up. Because, I mean, somewhere along the line, there was some sort of break that caused them to be the way they are. But I don't want to make this go too long, but I was just like so excited about this, this Vegas nerve thing. I said I had to make this little video, but I'm going to have to make another one and put up some visual things where you can see where it's all connected, and it connects to your body. So this goes out to any targeted individual who may be fitted up with some sort of microchip of some sort in your ear, or maybe in other parts of your body, because maybe they can put it in other parts of your body. Like if you go in to go get some sort of surgery or something like that. Like I think they put it in my arm, because I did get vaccinations, and I think they put something in my tooth. I had work done on my teeth that was recent, and also they definitely put something in my ear, because I mean I can hear the the clicking sounds and all that kind of stuff. I know that they did that. But I'm going to stop now, but quickly, I'm already up to 23 minutes. But anyway, I just wanted to also fill you guys in on what happened to me the other day when I went out. I had an appointment, and I was going out, and as I was going out, the trolley was coming down. So usually that those trolleys at that time when I go out, they come back to back. So one comes up first, and then sometimes if I leave out of my house a little earlier, I will catch the earlier one, But usually I catch the one after that. So I heard it coming as I walked out my house. So I was like, maybe I might be able to catch this. But then again, it really wouldn't matter, because I know the next one was going to come up rather quickly. So as I'm walking down there, I see the trolley, and I'm like taking my time, because I'm like, I can catch the next one. I don't have to get that one. So I was walking, and I was thinking, because it was just sitting there. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if a lot of people was getting on, or a lot of people was getting off, because usually if a lot of people is getting on, like, you can like run and catch it. So I started walking a little faster, because it was sitting there for so long. As I'm coming down, I could see it from all the way down the block. So it was still sitting there. So as I crossed the street, then it just slowly just took off. So I was like, okay, well, I won't be catching that trolley today. So as I walk up, I'm thinking nobody's going to be there at the stop, because the trolley just left like a half of a second ago. Wouldn't you know, some dude was sitting there. So as soon as I seen him sitting there, I was like, oh Lord, here go one of the Gangstalkers. He waiting for me. He's sitting here. He probably was going to get on that, the earlier trolley, but since I didn't make it out there, he said no. So as I walked up, I said, all right, mother, okay, I know what you here for. So I said, all right, I'm gonna engage him. I'm gonna engage this fool and say something to him. So I was like, when I walked up to him, I was like, oh, what happened? Did you miss the trolley? Because I just seen the trolley right here. What happened? Why didn't you get on the trolley? I was just that bold. They asked him why he didn't get on the trolley. That ain't none of my damn business. But I said, I'm gonna make it my business. Oh, I didn't want to get on that one. Oh yeah, I got an appointment. Oh, I got a doctor's appointment or whatever the mumbo jumbo he was talking about. Oh, so I didn't want to take that earlier one, so I just decided I would just sit here. Well, he could do that. He could go down to the terminal. You could get on the earlier one and go down to the terminal where they got stores. You can buy pretzels and stuff. Why the hell would you want to sit at a bus stop when you could get on there? And if you got there earlier, you go to the terminal, there's all kind of people walking around. You can people watch for like 5-10 minutes. So I knew right away. I was like, this fool, he ain't nothing more than a gang stalker, and he's a dumb one at that. Then after I heard him say that, so I was done. I was already done with the conversation, because I just wanted him to know that I knew that he was a gang stalker. So and then he started saying some old stuff about, oh, excuse me. I gotta find me a job. I need to find me some kind of job. No, I first said to him after he said that he had. No, let me get this right, because I am liking this all up. When I came there and I was like, oh, you missed the trolley, because I just seen the trolley take off like that. And then I was like, after I sat down, then he was still sitting there, and I knew he was a gang stalker. I'm always messing stories up, but I'm gonna get this one right. So then when I sat down, I was like, oh, you must have the type of job where you can just go in anytime you feel like going in. So he was like, oh no, I had an appointment. I got a doctor's appointment or some old shit like that. And then I guess since I had said something about a job, that's when he was like, oh yeah, well, I need to find myself a job. I need to look for a job. I got ready to say, B, you already got a job. You are a gang stalker. That's your job. And they give you $5. They give you a cheap $2 cell phone and send you on your merry way. That's your job. You already got a job. But you know what? When you get old, you ain't gonna be able to collect no pension. You won't get no pension, and you won't get no Social Security. You gonna have to get what they give to people that worked under the table and or didn't work and they had no money. You gonna have to get that kind of money. That's what you gonna get, because you won't get no Social Security check, because you ain't paying into the system, and you ain't gonna have no credits. But you do have a job, and your job is a gang stalker. That's what I was thinking that I wanted to say, but of course I could not say that, because he might have just been a great guy, just sitting there minding his business, and I'm all off the subject talking garbage. But anyway, to tell you that, then when I got on the trolley, this other guy, he got on there, and my mother always say, I draw I, and I'm looking out the window. And as I turned around, I see these two eyeballs all in my face. And then he turned his head real quick. That's when you know somebody was staring you the hell down. He was staring me down. And then he gonna turn his head all quick. So I said, okay, mother, okay, it's on now. All right, because I'm on the roll this morning. I was already mad from seeing that first gang stalker sitting there. Then I'm gonna get on the trolley, and another one is gonna be on there, or got on at the next stop. I think he got on at the next stop after me. And then he stared me down. So I said, okay, you two can play that motherfucking game. Okay. So I sat there, and I had my sunglasses on. I had my hat. My hat was pulled down over my forehead like this. And I had my sunglasses, and I sat back. And I stared him down for like 5 different stops, and he was squirming in that seat. And I got a video of Ugly. I got a video of him, and I'm gonna put that video up on here, because I know he was one of the gang stalkers, because that's what they do. They tell them when they get on the trolley to watch me, to see like what I'm doing, and then what they do is text. Like they'll text them like if I'm getting up, or if I go and I sit somewhere else, so that they keep that God thing going, because they're really nothing without their so-called God image, because they want to prove to me in particular, that, they're even greater than the Almighty. And we all know that's not true. Because if they were greater than the Almighty, then everything and anything that they wanted to do, they wouldn't have to come up with anything. They would just do it. If they wanted it to be sunny outside, they would just do it. If they wanted it to rain and rain on the crops and make them all grow, they would just do it. If they wanted it to be snowy for Christmas Day, they would just do it. But of course, we know none of them can do that, because none of them are God, not even one. All of them collectively put together can't do anything. The only thing they can do is come up with their technology and do whatever technology that they can do. That's it. That's the extent of what they can do. Okay, the Almighty can do all of that and 10 times, 10 million to the 25th. I don't even know. The number is an infinite number. Just go with zeros and just keep going with zeros. He can do all of that and more. And furthermore, he gave them the brain to be able to do whatever they is, be it good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, so that's what this goes out to, the ones that are hounding me. None of you are God, and none of you will ever be God. Okay, you don't have the ability, you don't have the intelligence, and you don't have the omnipotence to be God, and you never will be God. So just forget about it. Just forget about trying to prove to me that you are God, because you will never prove that. Okay? Move a mountain. All right? Next time when we going to get a snowstorm, stop that snowstorm. And stop it. All the stuff that's happening in this country, every time you turn around, it's a snowstorm. Up here where I live, there's a snowstorm like 2 a week. Why don't they stop that? The lights just went off just earlier this week. Power was lost to, like you would say, 700,000 customers in different counties. So my question is, why don't you stop it? My thing is messing up. It's stopping. I might have to stop it, guys, because it's messing up. I can see it stopping. But anyway, my question is, why don't they stop it? Why don't you make it stop? When lights and things and electricity is going to go off, why don't you do something about it if you're God? Because God could do that. He could stop all of it. All he would have to do is think about that he wanted it stopped, and it would be stopped. But of course, we all know they're not God, and they can't do that. So that's why we're suffering so much. And you see all these things happening all across the country. You see all these horrible things all across the world. All of this stuff is happening because evil, wicked people who buy into Satan's demonic nomenclature, and they think that he is God and he can do everything. The only thing that Satan can do is to do wicked things and evil things and make people do wicked things and evil things, and that's it. So my question to them, and my challenge to all the ones that are in here broadcasting every damn day, that they are the new God. We are the new God. Okay, well, next time we gonna have a blackout, why don't you stop it? Make it not be a blackout. Why don't you stop the ice storm? It was ice storms. It was ice all over the trees, everywhere. It was ice everywhere that brought down all of these lines. It brought down telephone lines and all these electrical lines and everything, and so many people lost their power. And that happened, I think, Tuesday. It's Saturday now. Some people still don't have their electricity on and won't get it back on until next week. So why don't the big shots, why don't they stop that? Why can't they stop that? Why can't they stop anything that happens in the world? Why can't they stop that? Why can't they key into their computers and make their computers stop that? You know why they can't do it? Because they are not God and never will be. Okay, that's how that go. But anyway, I'm gonna stop it now because I'm almost up to 35 minutes. They don't make these long old videos. But anyway, in closing, I like to say, keep God first and foremost into your life. Keep him close to you, because we are in end times. We are very, very close to the end, because if you look up blood moon, if you get the chance, key in Google blood moon and look at it, because we're about to have blood moon starting this year into next year. And then one of them, Thanksgiving and Hanukkah, I believe, is going to fall on the same day for, I think, the first time in history, from the time there's recorded history, if I can remember correctly. But if I'm not, somebody can correct me on that and put me in the know, because I just read so much stuff, and then sometimes everything just sort of gets crisscrossed together, and I may make a mistake on here, so excuse me if I'm wrong about that. But look up blood moon and get information about that, because that's going to be happening between this year and the year 2015. And that's very significant, because all of that stuff is through NASA. You can go to NASA's website and look it up, and they will, show you like when in history the three blood moons happened. It only happened, like, this would be the fourth time in history. Like the first time, you would say like it was 1200 or 1600 or something like that. And then every time that happened, that there was a blood moon, it had something to do with Israel. The Israel was triumphant over something, okay? Because even one happened in, 1948, when Israel became back a state, when all the Jews started to go back to Israel. So look up blood moon, and you can go to NASA and you can look up the information on there, because they have some good information. Sometimes I go to NASA website and look at their stuff too. So look at that and just key it in and look at it, so you know that we are in end times. And that's my major reason for getting on here and being so vocal about God and trying to bring people back to God, because I know we're in end times, and we don't have a lot of time. We don't have 10,000 years to bring ourselves back to God and to do penance and whatever. We don't have all that time, okay? Maybe in the second century or the third century, there was a lot of time. But if you look at everything that's happening right now in the world, and even in our country, in the United States, you see all of these things that are happening. And I mean, you have to put two and two together and think to yourself, something is going on here. And it's something that is very spiritual, and it is something that has to do with God, and it is something that has to do with Jesus coming back. So keep all of that in mind. And again, in closing, keep that in mind. Keep God close to you. Keep him first in your life. He comes first. Everything else is secondary to God. Yourself, your kids, your husband, your wife, your grandma, your grandpa, all of those things are secondary to the Almighty, because he is first and foremost. And love yourself and love your neighbors, and do the best you can to be at peace with people. That's what I try to do. Even though I have all these people in there on my back night and day, and they're doing all these things to me, I harbor no hate towards any of them, because I know that they are ignorant. And if they knew any better, and if they knew what I knew, they wouldn't be doing what they were doing. They would be on hands and knees, and they would be asking God for forgiveness, and they would be trying to get themselves back to God. Okay, so I don't harbor hate against the people, and the ones that are organizing the gang stalkers and stuff, and all the things that they do to me, and all these heinous things that they're doing to me. I don't harbor any hate towards them, because if I harbored hate towards them, then I wouldn't be a good Christian, okay? Because that's the thing that we are supposed to do according to the Bible. You are supposed to pray for your enemies and to beg God to bless them, because the reason why they're doing the things that they're doing is because Satan has taken complete control of them and their free will, because that's a part of something that's satanic, is to take away a gift of free will that God gave to each and every one of us. We all were given the gift of free will, because you figure God is God. He could do anything he wants. He could put the lights out on all the bad people in the next second. He could put out all of their lights, destroy every last one of them, and then just leave all the quote unquote good people. But he doesn't choose to do that. He gives us free will so that we will accept him in our own way, and accept him truthfully from the bottom of our heart. Not that he's going to force you to want him and to love him, but to give you the free will to make the choice to love him and to honor him and to worship him. Okay, and that's what I do. I cherish him, I love him, I honor him, and I worship him. Okay, so in closing, be good to yourself, be good to those around you, love God, and come back to my channel, subscribe, tell your friends about it. And if you want, you can leave a comment, or you can inbox me, or you can leave a video response, or if you want to just say something and you want to say it in a video, I'm open to that. Just make sure you don't use a lot of bad language and a lot of curse words and things like that. You can mouth them if you want to, because we're all adults and we know, like I'll say mother whatever, and I know what I'm talking about, but just try to keep it as clean as possible. Okay, love you all, my family, and if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. If you watch my videos, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for watching my videos, and I'm sending some love to you. My family, I love you so much. Come back and visit me because I enjoy your company. All right, bye. Sorry, that's me.